Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Mysticall. Today I'm bringing you a video going over the Venthyr Soulbinds and conduits. I'm gonna try to make it a quick video. The conduits are they're all the same across the other conduits except for one or two of them. I believe it's just two of them, just one. So when you pick a conduit, you get access to their soulbind. You get different trees you can go with, and these are completely different from the other covenants that you choose. However, these are the same, so I'll put a link to all of them down below if you want to read that. I put them in the first video, but these are the same across covenants, minus this one. There's just one that normally just increases whatever the ability that you get when you join the covenant. So today I'm just going to bring you these real quick, maybe choose a path, mostly talking from a PvP point of view. So today we have Nadjia the Mistblade, and this first row is actually really interesting. The Door of Shadows disorients all nearby enemies at the target location for 6 seconds when you appear. So that means when you use your portal thing, the this one right here should show up right here, the Door of Shadows. When you land, you disorient them, and the reason why this ability actually isn't that bad is because this is on a shadow lockout. So as a healer, if you get locked down on it, that's okay, because you can just cast the rest of your other abilities, which is really cool and useful. Now the disorient makes it even more interesting because you can actually use it for CC. The Mistweavers don't have anything on disorient. We have, except for Song of Chi-Ji, I believe, is on the disorient DR. So if you're not playing Song, this is full value. And then Fancy Footwork, Door of Shadows, increase your move speed by 40%, decaying over 6 seconds. This might be useful in Mythic Plus, maybe if you're trying to port somewhere, trying to get somewhere quickly. This could be useful. And then from here, you're going to want to put in, if I choose this right here, what I have to put in is I have to put in a potency conduit, which is one of these right here. And I think low-key, Venthyr might be the best from Mistweaver and PvP. I'm like pretty confident with that. I think the other ones seem I think their abilities seem good, but I think the Fallen Order, a lot of people stray away from it because it's a 3-minute cooldown, but I actually think it's really good and useful, and I think it has a lot of potential to just give you a huge 3-minute cooldown for 1,000 mana and just be able to top yourself, do a ton of damage. So I really like these imbued reflections, just because it increases the damage and healing it deals. I think that's going to be one of the better ones that you can choose. So then we apply the conduit, and then I think we can go into here, and then we need to put a finesse one here. So we'll choose this one. Again, it's absolutely my favorite. Oh, activate. Let me see if I messed something up. Oh, I have to click it. My bad. And then I think, yeah, then I put one here. And then I click to activate. Okay, so then we get the friends in low places. You loot 20% more. Infused rubies and dredgers throughout Ravendreth offer you an expanded selection of goods. I have no idea what that means. I think it seems pretty solid. I don't know what that means at all. So then we choose between these three. The benefits of well-fed flask and weapon enchant effects are increased by 15%. That seems pretty useful for raiding, and actually all PvE. That seems like you're probably gonna be your go-to. The duration of incoming interrupt, snare, and root effects are reduced by 25%. This right here is it's so good. It's just the biggest weakness that Mistweavers have. There's a few, but one of the biggest ones is getting locked out because we have to cast all of our abilities because everything is through Soothing Mist. So we're always prone to getting locked out. And then Melee's training us with the roots and snares that they have. I actually think this alone makes us the best from Mistweavers. And then the first enemy you damage in combat is marked as your adversary. You deal 4% more damage to them and deal 2% less damage to you. You may only affect one adversary at one time. Maybe this is good for raiding, or it could be good for myth. I think this is PvE, so I think this one might be good for raiding, and this one might be good for like mythic dungeons potentially. But for PvP, this one is absolutely the best. I'm really excited about this one. So that means we need a potency conduit. So that means we come up here, and then we socket one in there. You can think of these as Azerite, or not Azerite essences. The neck that we have. I forget the name already. And we'll just go with let's see. We'll go with this one because I think Mastery is pretty solid. So we're going to go here. And then we're going to choose this ability, which is great. We just, we put another potency conduit in here. So we'll just do Jade Bond, click to activate. And then boom, we get Thrill Seeker. So while in combat, you gain a stack of Thrill Seeker every 2 seconds or 4 stacks on killing an enemy. That's probably not going to be too useful for PvP, but that does seem pretty good for Mythic Plus dungeons or raiding versus bosses with a ton of like mini ads or ads. At 40 stacks, Thrill Seeker is consumed to grant you Euphoria, increasing your haste by 20% for 10 seconds. Thrill Seeker decays rapidly while you are not in combat. So this one doesn't seem too good for PvP because, you know, if you get full polyed, you drop combat. So there's a potential if they get 3 polys on you that you're going to drop a few stacks. However, for Mythic Plus and raiding with bosses that have a ton of ads, this is a really good choice to have. So that's the path. This is the path I would choose for PvP. If I was raiding, I might choose, let me see, I might choose this one. If I was Panda, I probably wouldn't go with this, or, you know, Panda Alchemist. It depends on how good the weapon enchants are. I haven't looked at the weapon enchants, but I think for Mythic Plus and raiding, I would go do the same route, and then maybe probably choose this one. Yeah, so then we apply, and that's what our tree would be. So that's the first one. The second one, again, these have different. So Dwarf Shadows frees you from roots and snares. Not bad at all. Not bad. Pretty. That could be useful for Mythic Plus and raiding. Dwarf Shadows has 2 charges, but its cooldown's increased by 30 seconds. Dwarf Shadows is a minute cooldown right now, so it would be a minute and a half cooldown with 2 charges. I actually like that a lot. I hope these are good. I really hope these are good. Okay. So then we'd have to go down here, and then the next one, the effects of combat potions last 20% to 100% longer. Okay, so that's like your battle potions. Your spells and abilities have a chance to call Tubbins and Gubbins to your side for 12 seconds. Parasol in hand, standing in the shaded area grants you 350 mastery. That might be good for raiding, depending on how much you have to move on a fight. I really like their names. Yeah, it might not be. It's not good for PvP because you're moving too much, but I kind of like that ability. Grant a shield that absorbs 407 damage to allies who aid you with healing or beneficial magic effects. You will only shield each ally once every 20 seconds. Our health pool right now is, I think, 20,000, so it's not too big. It might scale good. Like, it might scale well when you can upgrade these, but for right now, this seems like an okay-ish tier. It's definitely not as good as like this tier at all. And then we have these right here. During the Ember Court, your guests gain additional happiness for each event completed. When the court concludes, the effects of any decrees bestowed upon you are increased. I literally have no idea what that means. You have a chance to obtain an assortment of flavorful herbs and beverages when you kill an enemy that yields experience or honor. Probably good if you're farming, if you're doing like low-level dungeons maybe. Fallen Order signals the start of tea time, granting 10% versatility to you and 4% versatility to up to 4 nearby allies last 30 seconds. Oh my, so we use this 3-minute cooldown, which is gain 10% verse. I wish these were better. This one is, if I had to choose this tier, I would probably choose this one. 2 charges is really good, and it'll help you push in for crowd control when you need it. I feel like this tier is just, for PvP, I think it's just dead. I don't think there's anything useful. We don't use combat potions. We're not going to be standing in the shaded area for often because we're moving. And then maybe the shield is useful, but I don't think it's nearly as good as this one right here. The versatility is so good, so it makes this one, who's this guy's name? Theotar the Mad Duke. It makes it kind of like, I kind of want to go for it just for the 10% versatility, but I just, in general, I feel like Nadjia the Mistblade is just a better choice so far. So now we have General Draven. Your equipment takes 50% less durability damage from death. I might just go this guy just for that. Leaving a rested area increases your mounted speed by 10%, and your out of combat regeneration by 100%, last 10 seconds, and completing World Course refreshes the duration. Oh man, I wonder, there's no way this works in PvP. If you leave combat, there's just no way that it'll increase your regeneration by 100%. It would be cool, but I don't think that's possible. While you're above 80%, you gain 1% intellect every 3 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. If you fall below 50%, this effect is lost. Not too good for Mistweavers in PvP because I think we're mostly the targets probably half the time. So we tend to always drop below 50% health. Successfully interrupting an enemy or dispelling an ally increase your critical strike chance by 10% for 10 seconds. This may only occur once every 30 seconds. Probably good for raiding if there's some kind of boss that has debuffs. Not really good for PvP because we don't really use crit. Standing still for at least 4 seconds grants you 10% increased stamina and 4% increased healing done. This effect persists for 4 seconds after you start moving. Oh, this is actually interesting because if we get stunned and we stand there for 4 seconds, our health is just increased. So the hold your ground is actually kind of interesting. It depends on how good these are, but this one could be useful in PvP. PvE maybe not so much. I feel like you're moving a lot in PvE as well. Dwarf Shadows grants you a shield that absorbs damage equal to 15% of your max health last 8 seconds. So imagine if you hold your ground, you get that 10% increased stamina, and then you do a Dwarf Shadows and you get the buff. That's pretty good. When a nearby ally gains temporary increased movement speed, you also gain the benefit up to 30% for 8 seconds. Huh. That's gonna be good for raiding and Mythic Plus. PvP, I don't think not so much. I think this will be used for PvP. And then finally, damage taken. Oh wow, damage taken below 40% is reduced by 10%. Oh, upon death, you leave a stone husk behind which shatters after 3 seconds, inflicting 100% of your max health and damage split amongst nearby enemies, and healing for 100% of your maximum health split among nearby allies. Obviously really good in PvP or PvE, Mythic Plus and raiding. PvP, it's good. I mean, the first part is good. The first sentence, damage taken below 40% health is reduced by 10%. That's pretty good, but everything else is kind of unfortunate. I don't think this is going to be the go-to. I think the best one, unless they change these up a bit because things can change, I think the best one is going to be Nadjia the Mistblade, and I think this is going to be the best route you take. And then in general, I'm going to do a video going over each of these, and I really think, a little spoiler here, I think Venthyr is actually the best. I'm going to do some more testing with Fallen Order, but I'm pretty sure this is too much healing to give up. I know it's a 3-minute cooldown, but I think it's too much healing to give up. So, we'll see. I think the last one is Necrolord. So we'll see how or I think we did Necrolord. I think the last one is Kyrian. So we'll see how Kyrian does. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. We'll do a little comparison. I'll definitely do a video. But with that said, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment. I would appreciate it. That is pretty much it. Hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you later.